Welcome back to the YouTube channel, guys. I know it's been a while since I've posted. I've done a video, but yeah, I've been diving really deep into my trading. The last video I did, I explained that I signed up to a mentorship group, a community of traders run by a gentleman who really knows his stuff, and it has been amazing having a mentor and a community of traders that I've been able to ask questions about the strategy that I've adapted, go through the charts like I've never been able to go through before, and it's been a great experience. My trading's improved. I've had some ups and downs, but I am on a trajectory of being profitable. I had my best week last week. For me personally, I just made over $2,500 last week in trading. Now that is not going to anything besides growing my account. I've got a small account size, and I just want to grow and get my account to the point where I can start making bigger trades, because I have a bigger trading account, making more profit, and then eventually paying myself. Luckily enough, I'm in a position that I have a full-time job that gives me flexibility to be able to focus on trading and study, and I'm just loving it so much. Well, today's video, I know I talk a lot about grappling, trading, martial arts, mindset, trading mindset. They are so similar, but I also come from a bit of a background where I was running my own personal training business and an online business. I was really wanting to get to that freedom of having an online business as a personal trainer and writing programs and being able to work remotely from Bali, and all the stuff you hear about PTs working in Southeast Asia and running your online business and not having to work all these hours. And for me personally, a lot of that stuff can be a lot of nonsense, and you hear a lot of these sayings, like wanting to create this online business and it's going to create freedom. For me personally, it was probably more stressful, and I wanted to compare today, if you're a PT or a coach, a grappler, maybe you aren't a PT, but you're a grappler and you have a full-time job, but you want to create more income for yourself and have a bit more freedom. I personally feel like trading is the ultimate online business, because all it is you and the charts, and you're not having to market yourself to anyone. The main thing about what I love about trading, and that it creates this lifestyle for me, what I wanted to get out of being an online coach, is I don't have to be on social media at all. In fact, it's better that I'm not on social media. It helps my trading because it gets rid of the noise of other influence, because I do follow traders and investors, and now I've got this group of people I'm part of in my community. I really notice that the news and other influences will affect your trading majority of the time in a negative way. And that's part of my strategy right lately, is spending less time on social media. And you hear people saying, you're going to make, create your online business as a PT and 10K a week, 10K a month to start with. But the amount of time I was spending on editing, shooting videos myself, then uploading and DMing and trying to cold DM and react, and see who was reacting to my posts, and then trying to interact with them and get a sale out and squeeze this sale out of having to be online so much, and having all this time being in social media and worrying about what other people thought about your post and their interactions, and then coming up with nonsense posts just for engagement, like clickbait shit of the fastest way to lose fat in 30 seconds, and this is why you're still fat, and trying to get people's reactions, so then you create attention around your post. And to tell you the truth, it was a killer. It was nonsense, really. Your goal should to be not to be on social media. And if you're the type of person who still wants their time, their freedom back, they want to not have to worry about money so much, but you want that online business and not have to worry about being online all the time, think about trading. Yes, anything that's going to make you money and be successful requires you to put the effort in and time, like running any type of business. If it's an online PT business or learning how to trade, you do have to put the time in, time on the charts, learning a strategy. However, once you get to the point of having a strategy that works and you get your mind right, and that's why I feel like guys who are martial artists and people who are, maybe elite athletes, and they understand that mindset, I think it's really adaptable to trading. Okay, trading's like nothing else you'll ever do, but I think you have a little bit of a benefit of understanding the mindset if you have gone through the trials and tribulations of being in an MMA gym for a long period of time. But the best thing about trading, comparing it to trying to run an online business, is you don't have to market yourself. You do not have to spend hours in front of the camera at all doing videos and editing them. You do not have to be on calls with people hoping you're going to get a sale. You don't have to sell someone else's product. You don't have to be selling fucking water filters or isogenics or some sort of nonsense because you don't believe in the product. But what you actually want is the freedom that an online business that can give you. And I feel like online businesses can be a bit of a scam in terms of saying that you're going to get all this freedom, but you've still got to put all the work into marketing and editing. And even if you're paying someone else to do all your edits for you or your videos, you've got to fork out all that money. So think about trading in the essence that once you understand the strategy and you can get your mindset right and your patience is there, and you risk small amounts on a very small accounts, like you risk a small amount of trade or small amount of, got a small risk in your trade, but you just focus on the process and you go through that. It's all about the process. You can make, and your money is not capped. Eventually you can become to the person that you want to be in your financial dreams and your goals. You just have to put the time and effort in. Yes, it might take 3 to 5 years, but so does building a business that's going to be successful to get you to the same financial spot. But you've gone through all this other stuff of overheads, marketing, video, editing, apps, being on social media and having to engage and comment and worry about people caring about your posts or not. And that's not me. And if you don't want to be on social media anymore, but you want that freedom, think about trading. I love it. I think it's wonderful, like researching the charts. And yes, you can spend too much time in front of the screen on your computer, diving into charts, but it's also part of the sacrifice you make. And that might be the negative part of trading, is being in front of the screen. But then I would argue it's the same thing with social media, is you're having to be on the screen. And I would say social media is way more toxic for you than reading the charts and studying. Because the other side of being into trading is, if you are successful in trading, it is the number one self-development tool I think I've come along or found. I can't speak properly today. But in terms of the self-development side, is you have to have your emotions and your psychology in check. And being a fit, healthy individual who's into a martial art, you need to have your emotions and psychology in check as well, because then you're not going to do very well. You get humbled on the mats, you will get humbled in the charts, but it's a learning process. You learn how to tap out early before you break your arm. You learn how to take small risks, set a stop loss, and your losses will be small, and you will learn and you continue. That's why I love grappling, and that's why I think grappling and trading is similar. But this video was mainly me wanting to just rant about the cons of running an online business. If you're a PT out there, you're spending all this time and all these coaches and all these mentorships and all these apps and all the software to do your editing. It's not that easy. And if you've done it, it's great. But I would argue that you want to be on social media less. And if you want that online business and that time freedom, you don't have to be on social media at all if you're a successful trader. Not one bit. I'm doing this because I love to create content that I don't have to worry about if someone watches it. I don't give a shit. I'm not trying to sell trading courses. I'm not trying to sell anything. I just love talking about trading. And I don't have to be on Instagram making reels about trying to have someone wanting to engage with me because I've got a fat loss program to sell. That used to kill me. I was editing and videoing so much, trying to create, content that was going to trigger someone or, get them involved in the first 5 seconds, 3 to 5 seconds that they engage in your content. And then you've got to DM them and message them back about their pains, their pleasures, and here's my free ebook, download it, get their email, put them in a funnel, on your MailChimp account, and therefore you're sending them emails every week, trying to nurture them to eventually become a client. Yeah, I just made $2,500 in a week, and the amount of time that I spent having to do that on social media was zero. Once I've analyzed my charts and I've figured out where I want to enter, it's done. Now I understand those processes. It takes me a lot less time and effort to read the chart and get into a trade once my signals and my desired strategy looks like it's going to work. But me I never made $2,500 in a week in sales online. That's for sure. And I know some people do great and that's their thing, but man, the fact that I don't have to be on social media anymore and I'm creating a business, I do see trading as a business. You've got to treat it like that if you want to succeed. That I can do anywhere in the world with an internet connection, and don't have to be on social media. I don't have to edit. I don't have to create content to come up with ideas. I don't have to sit there and message people hoping that they're going to reply to me. Someone who doesn't give a shit that you're selling another fat loss program. So that's my rant. I would say trading is the superior online business for anyone who wants to do it. If you're a grappler or you're an MMA fighter or you're a personal trainer who has that mindset of what it takes to physically develop themselves mentally and emotionally, I know you will probably have some success in trading if you ever want to get into it. I'm not selling you anything here, but if you like my channel, then follow me because I'm going to start creating more content about why trading's successful, like why I love trading, why I think it can make you successful, the mindset comparing to grappling, and a bunch of other stuff that's related to grappling and trading and yeah, that type of lifestyle. So have a wonderful day, guys. I'll talk to you soon.